Okay, let's get started. Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see from the title, on today's video, I'm going to be giving you my full review with spoilers of X, the latest A24 horror movie that just hit theaters. Well, it's hitting theaters tomorrow, March 18, but I was able to watch it today, March 17. So as always, all my reviews are with spoilers. If you don't want them just to see if this was worth it or not, on the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review because I like to give you guys the two options. So giving that little talk disclaimer ahead, let's get into the video. Now, something that I have said a few times already is that this was, for me, one of the most expected horror movies. I know that for some other people too, but next to Scream and Halloween Ends, this one was the one that I was expecting, and I was really excited about this one, and it didn't disappoint. Like, you could be thinking it was bad. No. If you have read or heard something about this movie and it was like a good critic or something, believe them, because it's true. The movie is really good. It's weird, but in a good sense. The official plot of the movie is that on 1979, a group of young filmmakers set out to make an adult film in rural Texas. But when their reclusive elderly host catch them in the act, the cast find themselves fighting for their lives. Now, the film is directed by T. West, and we have Jenna Ortega once again. Just a disclaimer, if you're thinking that she's the final girl, she's not, but she still delivers a really good scene and sequence and a really good performance. As always, I mean, this girl, the whole cast in general, the reality, I think that they did such a really good job with the characters. The characters all were written, we were able to know them. Like, we know enough of them. I think that they did a really good job with the characters, and like I said, the acting is really good. We also have Brittany Snow, who probably you have seen in movies like John Tucker Must Die or Pitch Perfect, and in horror in the remake of Prom Night. I know that this movie is not precisely a good one, but she appears there also, and she's actually sings at some point of the movie a really good song actually. So the film basically starts with the sheriff arriving to the house and the farm. The trailer, they don't give away much, the reality, so that's something that I want to say real quick. If you watch the trailer and you think that you saw too much, not really, you're going to be fine. But something that the trailer, it's that kind of tricks you to think that the movie is going to go one way but goes another, at least on the motives of why they're being chased and killed, if you understand. So basically, we have the sheriff arriving to the crime scene. Of course, we know that that is going to happen, and then we quickly go 24 hours earlier, and this is when you have the introduction of the main character of the film. Is Maxine. She is the fiance of the executive producer of what is going to be the adult film that they're going to be making. And she do drugs throughout the movie a few times, but she's excited about this because she's a star. Like, she says to herself, watching into the mirror, like, you're a star, you're a sex symbol, like giving motivation to herself. But you know that she has some battles on the inside, but you don't know what type of battles or something until the right end, like, clicks everything together. It's really subtle. It's not that they say you like completely, but you're going to understand it. But of course, I'm not going to be giving you until the end. So we have the introduction of her fiance, that is Swain, and we have her basically partner on the movie, that is Jackson, and Brittany Snow character, that is Bobby. And Ortega is Lorraine. She is part of the crew because her boyfriend is the one that is filming the movie, that is RJ. So we saw them all together on the van on their way to the house. Now, the movie has some really Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibes for obvious reasons. The time that is set, the place, and also we have a gas station scene, the fact that they are on a van, they are on the middle of nowhere in this house, and even some shots of the house, because at some point they enter the house of the elderly couple, the way even the stairs are placed, the camera, everything kind of resembles a little bit to the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Of course, kind of serve as a homage, and at some point you're even thinking this is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie. So we have the on their way, and all the time they are like near to a TV. The only thing that it's on the TV is this press talking about sinners and like sexual liberation, that type of stuff, but in a bad way. And like he's giving a speech on the church and people like hallelujah, amen, that type of thing. You're probably thinking that why the hell they're putting this on TV every single time they are near a TV, but this has a specific reason that is not revealed until the last minute. And like I told you, everything clicks so well. Like I left the movie theater with clear mind. I understood everything. Maybe some people will take a little bit more to understand since things they don't get too explicit, but you will understand them. So I really like it about the film. So something that I want to say is that the movie, like I said, is 1 hour and 40 minutes. And it takes a while to get into the horror elements because the whole time, at least the first 45 minutes, we don't see nothing horrific. Just the old woman like staring, and like her behavior is a little bit weird, but rather than that, we don't really see much horror until the mark of 45 minutes. And everything happens because after they basically are almost done with the filming of the movie, of course, we see what they're filming, how they're filming. Of course, they are kind of celebrating the fact that they are almost done. And Lorraine, she's I wouldn't call her a prude, but definitely she's a Christian girl. Of course, she is not into this type of dynamic. As the actresses on the movie, so she's asking like, do you feel okay with watching your girlfriend having sex on camera with another guy? Of course, she's asking this to Wayne since Maxine is his fiance and she appears on the film. And he's like, no, and they start giving this speech of how to them they don't feel ashamed of liking sex. They feel like sex is just nothing, that is not love, that is work. This is a type of conversation that it can be pretty real, something that has been talked before. So this is not like unrealistic thing. Like some people in this work industry, they think like this, and they think that for them, if their partner is doing this, it's nothing wrong and they are okay with this. Of course, not everyone it is, but this was a pretty real conversation of how these people think, but I'm not saying this on a bad way. Like it's just the real thing of how they think and how they work. And she is like, well, I want to win the movie. And her boyfriend freaks out because he doesn't think the same as Wayne. So she ends up doing the movie. We never see her actual scene. We don't see Jenna Ortega doing nothing. We just imply that the scene is going to start. We don't see her nude or anything, and basically cuts. And then we have her boyfriend being really upset. So RJ basically leaves in the middle of the night. And when he's about to leave, the old woman appears, and this is when the horror kind of starts. And he gets out of the van, and she kind of gets close to him and like in a sexual kind of way, but of course he's not into that, so she stabs him and kills him. So this is when the horror starts because Lorraine, she realizes that RJ is not on the bed. She wakes up Wayne, and they start both looking. Wayne gets killed, and Lorraine basically gets on the basement of the house and gets locked by the old man. So this is when we are seeing the real intentions of them. It takes a little bit to realize why they're doing this. They start killing the others by one. And basically the whole reason, it's when Lorraine is on the basement, it's like with a flashlight, and she sees this man. It's not RJ, and he's hanging from the ceiling and he has no clothing. And this is a really good scene for her. Like she's really scared, and then she gives this amazing scream. Like this girl, I will never shut up about it. She has the potential of being such a good scream queen. Like she belongs in horror. That's all I can say. So although she dies on the film, I think that she did a really good job, and I think that her part was done right, and they gave her the right scenes. Like she delivered. Like she did a really good scene. So the main reason and the whole thing behind this is that the couple, the old woman, she's kind of having some troubles with the realization that she's old. Maybe she's not beautiful as before. So she's looking for her validation. in sex, but her husband can't give her that because at the point she's like going to him and he's like, you know, I can do this, my heart will not take it. So what they do is basically they will bring guests, and if they have to kill a few of them, they will get one that she will choose to use as a sex, I wouldn't call it sex slave, but kind of is. They don't really get too deep into that, but basically is her way of feeling young and beautiful and kind of having sexual reliefs. And she gets fixated to Maxine, so they kill everybody else and Maxine is the last one standing. But since the old woman at some point is like, we don't need them, I have you, they start doing it while Maxine is under the bed hiding. So as they are doing it, she's able to run and leave. She gets into the house. She's trying to find the keys of the truck. Lorraine is still alive at this point, but she dies later. And when the couple appears, she has a gun on her hand and she's like, where are the keys? And the old man dies by a heart attack, just like he said it would happen. He dies. So we have the last one standings that are the old lady and Maxine. And basically the old lady, she tries to shoot her, but she goes backwards and she breaks her hip. So of course she's injured. On the outside of the house, Maxine gets the car keys and she leaves. But this is the kicker. She lives and we go back to where the sheriff is on the house. It's in the middle of the day. And we have the press once again saying a phrase that Maxine said as she was leaving. And then he shows a picture of his daughter that has gone into the same path. And it's Maxine. All this time, the struggle that she's having is the fact that her father is oppressed. She ran away and left her family by being a sex worker. And she is dealing with that. But like I said, it's like the end, you're like, what? So she's the daughter of the priest that we have been hearing all this time. So that's the reason. And the old lady dies, of course. And the thing is that at the end, they found the camera. And one of the officers says to the sheriff, what do you think that is in there? And he says, well, looking by this, horror movie. And he's like, no, honey, you're going to find another thing. No, it's not a horror movie. And it ends. And that's basically it. Like I said, I really, really, really enjoyed this. Now, something that I was said before watching the movie was that the movie was kind of weird and kind of funny. And it kind of is. Like at some points, you're going to find yourself maybe laughing or some kind of funny situations, but I don't think that it was made on purpose. Like, I don't think that they were thinking, I want to make people laugh, but rather to just go with the flow and to change things a little bit, because it really plays. Like, at some point, it's a horror movie, and at some points kind of feels like comedy, and they got all mixed together. So we have some shots and the way that the scenes are cut, they will go like on the switch on and off of the horror. So maybe some people will not like this. It didn't bother me at all. The reality, it was something new and something that I really like it. Also, I really feel like this movie was made on the 70s, like the way that it's filmed, how everything looks, really good, gorgeous shots. So I don't really have nothing negative to say about this movie. Like, really. I'm still trying out the soundtrack, really good. The song's choice was really, really good. And also, I read that a prequel has been filmed for this. I don't have much information about that, but definitely if a prequel is coming, definitely I will be watching that. I think that this movie, I will give it 5 out of 5. Because I don't find flaws. At least I don't. Maybe someone else probably would, but at least I don't find them. So I think that this one is my first 5 out of 5 of the year and a 10 out of 10. Yeah, probably you're wondering why. And like I said, I'm not able to find any flaws on this because I really enjoyed it really much. And it was a really, really good movie. So this one is a must watch. You should watch it if you are planning to watch it. Definitely you should. or I hope that you have watched it, because I just spoiled you the whole thing and it's not going to be the same. Well, I give you the warning. But well, I think this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about this movie. Did you like it? You did it? You were expecting something else? Let me know. And well, this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to be see you guys on the next one. Bye.